Hey there, English learners. Welcome back to Learn English Naturally. I'm Emma.
And I'm Ethan. And wow, do we have an amazing episode for you today?
We absolutely do. You know, Ethan, I was just thinking about how many of our listeners ask us the same question over and over again.
Let me guess. How can I improve my English speaking skills faster?
Exactly. And today, we're going to tackle that head-on with something really special. We're going to take you through a complete English learning journey using a conversation that I guarantee you'll relate to.
Plus, we've got some interactive exercises that are going to blow your mind. Emma, tell them what we're covering today.
All right, so here's the deal. We've got 4 Power Pack segments for you. First, we'll dive into authentic listening practice with a real conversation. Then we'll break down the essential vocabulary you need to know. Next comes the fun part, interactive Q&A, where you'll practice speaking out loud. And finally, we'll do some shadowing practice to perfect your pronunciation.
And the best part? You can do all of this right from wherever you're listening, whether you're commuting, at the gym, or just chilling at home.
Before we jump in, I want you to grab a notebook or open your notes app because we're going to give you some phrases today that you'll definitely want to remember.
Absolutely. And here's a pro tip from both of us. Don't just listen passively. We want you to participate, speak out loud, and really engage with this episode.
Trust me, by the end of this episode, you'll feel more confident about expressing preferences, describing places, and having natural conversations in English.
So, are you ready to transform your English skills?
Then let's dive right in. All right, everyone, we're starting with our listening practice. Now, I want you to really focus here because we're about to hear a conversation between Jack and Emily about something we've all thought about at some point.
That's right. They're discussing whether they prefer city life or countryside living. And honestly, this is such a relatable topic that you'll probably find yourself picking sides.
As you listen, don't worry about understanding every single word. Instead, focus on the overall meaning and the flow of the conversation. Ready?
Here we go, Jack and Emily having a heart-to-heart about where they love to live.
Hi, Emily. I like the countryside more. It's quiet and I can see the stars at night.
That sounds nice. I live in the city. It's noisy, but I like it.
Don't you get tired of the noise and traffic?
Sometimes yes, but I like the shops, cafes, and cinemas. Everything is close by.
True. In the countryside, we don't have many places like that.
What do you do for fun there?
I go hiking, ride my bike, and take photos of nature. It's relaxing.
That sounds peaceful. I think I'd like to visit the countryside one day.
You should. It's a great place to relax and enjoy nature.
Thanks, Jack. Maybe I'll go this weekend.
Great idea. I hope you enjoy it.
Wow, what a lovely conversation, Ethan. I have to ask, are you Team Jack or Team Emily?
Oh man, that's tough. I'm actually somewhere in between. I love the energy of the city, but there's something magical about stargazing in the countryside that Jack mentioned.
I totally get that. And you know what I loved about this conversation? It felt so natural and real. These are the kinds of discussions we have with friends all the time.
Exactly. And that's the beauty of learning English through authentic conversations like this. You're not just memorizing phrases, you're learning how real people actually talk to each other.
Now, before we move on, I want our listeners to think about this. Could you follow the main points of that conversation? Did you catch Jack's reasons for loving the countryside and Emily's reasons for preferring the city?
And here's something cool. Even if you didn't understand every word, I bet you understood the emotion and the flow of the conversation. That's actually a huge win in language learning.
All right, everyone, time for our vocabulary spotlight. We're going to break down some key words from that conversation that you absolutely need to master.
And we're not just going to give you definitions, we're going to show you how to use these words in real-life situations.
First up, countryside. Now, this isn't just any rural area. It specifically refers to land outside of towns and cities, usually with farms, fields, and small villages.
Here's a perfect example. I love spending weekends in the countryside because it helps me disconnect from the busy city life. Emma, you want to share how you'd use it?
Sure. My grandparents live in the countryside, and every summer I visit them to help with their vegetable garden.
Love it. Now, here's a phrase that's super useful. Get tired of. This means to feel bored or unhappy because something happens too often.
This is such a common expression. Like, I'm getting tired of this rainy weather, or don't you get tired of eating the same breakfast every day?
Exactly. And in our conversation, Jack asked Emily, "Don't you get tired of the noise and traffic?" He's basically asking if she's fed up with those city problems.
Our last vocabulary gem is peaceful. This describes something that's very quiet and calm, with no noise or stress.
You know what's interesting about peaceful? It's not just about sound. You can say, "I feel peaceful when I meditate," or "The lake looked so peaceful in the morning."
Great point. And here's a challenge for our listeners. Try using all three of these words in one sentence.
Ooh, I love challenges. Here's mine. After getting tired of the city noise, I moved to the peaceful countryside.
Perfect. Now, listeners, pause the episode and try creating your own sentence. Go ahead, we'll wait.
How did that go? Remember, the key to vocabulary mastery is using these words in your own context, not just memorizing definitions.
Now comes the fun part, our interactive Q&A session. This is where you become an active participant, not just a listener.
We're going to ask you questions about the conversation, and here's what I want you to do: answer out loud. Don't just think the answer, actually say it. This is crucial for building your speaking confidence.
And don't worry about being perfect. This is practice, and practice means making mistakes and learning from them.
Are you ready? Let's start with something simple. What did Emily ask Jack at the beginning?
The answer is, she asked Jack where he likes living more, in the city or the countryside. Did you get that? If not, no worries. Let's try another one.
Here's a slightly trickier question. Why does Jack prefer the countryside?
He said it's quiet, and he can see the stars at night. Beautiful reasons, right? Now, let's flip it. What does Emily like about city life?
She mentioned shops, cafes, and cinemas, and that everything is close by.
Perfect. Here's a great comprehension question. Does Emily get tired of the city noise?
The answer is sometimes. She's honest about the downsides but still loves city life overall.
Last question, and this one's about future plans. When might Emily visit the countryside?
This weekend. She said, "Maybe I'll go this weekend." How did you do with those questions? The key is that you were actively thinking in English and responding in English.
And here's something I want you to remember. In real conversations, you don't always have perfect answers immediately. Sometimes you need a moment to think, and that's totally normal.
All right, everyone, we've reached our final segment, shadowing practice. This is where the magic happens for your pronunciation and fluency.
For those who are new to shadowing, here's how it works. We're going to replay parts of the conversation, and you're going to repeat each line immediately after you hear it.
Think of it like being someone's echo, but you're focusing on copying their rhythm, intonation, and pronunciation.
This technique is used by professional interpreters and language coaches worldwide because it's incredibly effective for developing natural-sounding speech.
Don't worry about being perfect. Focus on matching the flow and feeling of the English. Ready?
Let's start with Emily's lines. Hi, Jack. Where do you like living more, in the city or the countryside? That sounds nice. I live in the city. It's noisy, but I like it.
Now let's do Jack's responses. Hi, Emily. I like the countryside more. It's quiet and I can see the stars at night. Don't you get tired of the noise and traffic?
How does that feel? Notice how your mouth and tongue are getting used to English rhythm patterns?
That's exactly what we want. Your muscle memory is developing, which will make speaking English feel more natural over time.
Wow, what an incredible journey we've been on today. We've practiced listening, expanded vocabulary, tested comprehension, and worked on pronunciation.
And you know what? You've just completed a full English immersion experience. That's exactly how you accelerate your learning.
But here's the thing, one episode isn't enough. Language learning is like fitness. You need consistency to see real results.
That's why we have a challenge for you. For the next week, listen to this episode once a day and do all the exercises. By day 7, you'll be amazed at how much more confident you feel.
And speaking of challenges, we want to hear from you. Drop your comments telling us, do you prefer city life or countryside living and why?
Before we sign off, let's do a quick recap of today's power vocabulary. Countryside, get tired of, and peaceful. If you loved today's episode, please like this video and share it with fellow English learners.
Until next time, keep practicing, keep improving, and keep believing in yourself.